Yes.
All right. I love this next guest because it's really, truly news you can use, especially at a time when we need this kind of advice and hopefulness. A record 22 million jobs were lost in the U.S. amid this COVID-19 pandemic, and many of them may never come back. And here in California, our unemployment is at a pandemic low, but it still remains one of the highest in the country at 8.5%, with over 1.5 million people out of work. And I bet a lot of them feel there is no hope. So how do you get people back to work or enter the workforce for the first time, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever age? You are ageless and timeless. Ken Lindner is one of the most well-known broadcaster talent agents in the country. For over 30 years, he has been helping people in all sorts of career fields navigate success, including my own at one time when I was a youngster. His latest book, he's an author, a best-selling author. It is titled Career Choreography, your step-by-step guide to finding the right job and achieving huge success and happiness at any stage of life. He joins us now via Zoom. I've told you a lot about him.
Yes. Yes, it is
Mel,
so lovely to have you here.
Kenny, lovely to see you and have you with us this morning. Congratulations on your best-selling book.
Thank you so much. Great to see you both.
Great to see you. So, Kenny, listen, there are a lot of people who feel very hopeless out there because they have lost their jobs, not able to put food on the tables to support their families. Before we get into how we get back into the workforce at whatever stage, you say you feel hopeful, and you're trying to spread that hopefulness by a step-by-step guide in your book. Why are you so hopeful that there's possibilities out there for us?
Well, I'm hopeful because, first of all, with the vaccines being more readily available and people going back to work, with regard to companies getting more enthusiastic about things, there are jobs that are going to be available. And I look at this as an incredible opportunity for everybody out there to have a fulfilling professional reset. You know, sometimes you need to take a step back to take 3 steps forward. This is your chance to really dig down deep and think about what you want in your next job, the things that you love to do, the things that you're good at, and the things that you don't want. You can reflect upon your past experiences and make the most of them in this next step in your career.
I love it.
I really love the positive life choice psychology theory and technique that you've developed. And so much of that, Ken, too, is about courage. Do you have the courage to go after that which sets your heart, on fire? And there's many people out there that during the pandemic may have lost those things. They may have lost, what they depended on for livelihood and their passion. So what's your advice to them? How did they re-engage and get reinvested in work?
Well, Melvin, there are a couple of things. First of all, be confident. If you're going back into the workforce, that means you have a wealth of knowledge, you have experience, you have know-how. That is a tremendous benefit to employers who want to hire the best fit and person who can get, hit the ground running quickly. So that is a huge asset. The second thing is make a list of the things that you're really good at so that you can articulate them to your prospective employer, and also make sure that you take the right job. By making a list, by thinking about all of these things, by crystallizing it in your mind, you take steps and you get rid of the fear paralysis, Melvin, that you're referring to. Get started.
What I love about the book is you do give a step-by-step guide for people to step back into the job market. And you basically say, make that list of people who you worked with before, who have positive experiences with you in the workforce, and go back to them. Why so important, Kenny?
Oh, Giselle, it's such an important step. First of all, by the way, I had a dad who was laid off at 66 years old, and he contacted all of the people who either worked for him through the years or whom he worked with or for. And he stayed in touch with them. And interestingly enough, 3 years later, at age 69, someone who worked for him, who had become the chairman of the board of a company called Marmax, started TJ Maxx. He hired my dad at age 69, and my dad worked until he was 99. That's a tremendous example of networking and staying in touch with people who know you. You don't want to be an anonymous resume competing against all these other people. People who know you can recommend you or hire you because they know the quality of your work.
I have an aunt who says people help people,
Yes.
you know, which I feel like is where my Aunt Debbie always says, that people help people. And fear, you were talking a little bit ago about this whole concept of fear paralysis, and that is a big deterrent for folks, because sometimes you let that mind chatter or whatever's going on in your head derail you and stop you. Yeah. So how do we overcome that?
Well, I really think, again, take stock of your assets, because if you know what you can bring to the table, it'll give you confidence. Also, I really believe taking baby steps, just so you feel like you're doing something and achieving them. It gives you feelings of mastery and confidence. Make that clarifying list. Really dig down deep. Do that networking. Make steps. Do your homework so that when you have an interview, you know everything about that company you're interviewing with or the people you're interviewing with, because the messages that you send in that interview can make a huge difference. Make sure your references are really great. I've seen the difference between somebody getting a job and not getting a job are the stellar references that they present to a particular employer. One other thing, make sure when you go into a job, especially if you're just entering the workforce, show people what you can be. They're hiring potential since you don't have a body of work to rely on. Show them that potential. Rock that interview.
Ken, you have given so many people so much hope who may feel hopeless, that at any age and stage of life, no matter who you are, if you find your passion and go for it and follow your step-by-step, you can get back into the workforce and have a really fulfilling career. Thanks so much, Kenny.
Oh, it's an honor to be with both of you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All the best. Career Choreography in your local bookstores or online. We'll be right back.